Hi YouTube, today I got something that came into the mailbox and it is a reusable capsule for the Nescafe Dolce Gusto machine, if you can see here. And it states that it can be used up to 100 times before it goes bad, I suppose. I've never tried this before. This is the first time I actually bought this to see whether does it really works, and I've read comments that actually it does. So I'm trying to see whether I can make full use of this machine without breaking my bank, because the capsules that they are selling in the market is really expensive. It's becoming very expensive. It used to be for a cup, it used to be about 3 ringgit Malaysia, about 3 to 350, and the recent price hike actually hikes per cup to go about to 450. That's a significant increase of about ringgit, and it may not mean much for a cup, but if you're drinking in the long term, it's a lot. So I'm trying to see whether I can make a full use out of this machine, because it's still very good. I bought it fairly new, and it cost me about 400 something, and it's not even 6 months before I stopped buying. And the thing about capsule is that when you buy those boxes, they have expiry dates about 6 months or so, and if you don't use it, everything has to be thrown away, because there's some contain dairy products which cannot be kept. So when you throw away, it's a waste of money, and why not? And this will actually basically what I drank most is just black coffee Americano, and I just want to get the best flavor out of the beans that I could get. And this machine actually supposedly has so-called 15 bar pressure, something like that. Not very coffee barista savvy, but I sort of get the idea. More pressure from the coffee machine, the more taste the coffee beans are able to express itself on a cup. So without further ado, let's just unwrap this and see how it works, and to determine whether does it works. So I get it out of the box. It's basically just plastic. It's not a very good quality plastic. Maybe slightly better than the ones that they actually have in the capsules. And there's a mesh here, the outlet, and there's the hole here. This hole, it's where the pin hole of the machine goes into. You can see there, it's very sharp, so you have to be careful. Yeah, that. So what you're gonna do is basically you're gonna fill it with coffee, and then just put it in, and then just put it in, and put this whole thing in, and then you press start. So I wouldn't recommend putting anything other than coffee powder, ground coffee, because you can't put beans there, so you need to ground it. I wouldn't really recommend putting anything like milk, coffee, milk powder, chocolate powder, whatnot, because it may clog up, and it is not meant for that purpose. So I would just recommend to put just ground coffee powder. And what I have is this Jamaica Blue ground coffee, which I bought, and supposedly Jamaican Blue, is one of the best sort of the coffee beans. I don't know. So I'm gonna try to put this here and let this machine brew and see whether what difference does it make. And I can compare it because I have several machines here, you can see. Perhaps the worst taste express is this Canva machine. It's just a coffee filter, but it's convenient. You just leave it and forget about it. This is also slightly high end, but it requires the Nescafe's refill, and I still have about here. And it basically can make cafe latte and those standard things, but somehow the taste is Nescafe-ish, so it's just basically a glamour machine for making Nescafe. And this is perhaps the one that I have the most anticipation for, especially when now I have this and I have this bean. I should be able to get the best out of whatever I have. So let's get to it. The question is always how much to put in this capsule. As you can see, it's not a very big capsule capacity, but you don't really need a lot of coffee powder to make a small cup of coffee. And I have this. This is a very good spoon that actually I got it when I bought this machine. The general rule is 1 full teaspoon of this, or coffee spoon, equals to a cup. So what I'm going to do now is going to get a cup of this 1 spoonful, and put it here, seal it, put it in the machine, and see how it goes. Okay, so as here I've just unwrapped the ground coffee, and I put it in this container. It has to be airtight because that is how coffee actually retains the smell. And the best way to actually drink coffee is to buy the beans as whole, and don't grind it. You only grind the beans when you want it. And so what I'm going to do now is going to use this, put a spoonful into here, and then going to let the machine do its job. And because I don't have a tripod, I'm just going to skip, doing it, because it's very, very difficult doing it with one hand. So alright, you can see I've already put a teaspoon of it, and it's only filled up half. So it's, supposedly I believe you can fill in two, but I don't want, because it may make the whole thing overfilled or exploded. I'm not sure. I would suggest after you put it in, just use a spoon and slowly compress it, so that like how barista outside, they put a coffee bean and then they compress it or not. So anyway, here goes nothing. Just gonna close this, and if you can see, there's actually a rubber seal around here. It's it keeps the pressure in, so it's very, very well constructed. It's not your fancy. It's not gonna be a super expensive thing, but I guess it will work. But yeah, I guess this will be a bit trouble because it doesn't really shut tight here, so this may be a bit problem. Anyway, so I've put it here, and because of you need to make sure that this hole actually lines up here, otherwise you're gonna puncture hole elsewhere here. So as you can see, this is actually in front, so you need to have the hole aligned to the front at 90 degrees here, so you can have it no problem. So I'm just gonna get here, align it, and make sure that it sits right. That's about right. This is very excuse me. So just for reference purpose, there's this knob here. Just make sure that it's lined right in the center. I guess this is a best way to make sure to know it's actually in the middle. So then I will just carefully insert it in. Okay, and then I just once plug in, just turn on the plug. Press this button. There you go. And you must have a cup ready. Leave it here. And wait until this thing turns green. Shut this down and press start. Alright, so it's just turned green. So what I'm gonna do is gonna close this thing and see, does it? No issue here, so great. So here goes nothing. Fire on. So I've taken this out. I guess it somehow works. I don't know. Perfect hole. There's no puncture elsewhere, so I guess this is okay. Everything works properly. There's no thing, but I guess it's not as pressurized as I think it would, because probably I guess it's this part. This part leaks air, so I guess the pressure couldn't get very well. So maybe if this could be airtight, then I think it would be best. But let's see how the coffee looks like. It looks proper. Well, anyway, this is the product review of this reusable capsule. It's supposed to have a lifespan of 100 times usage before it just go bust. And this is how it looks after used. And cleaning is going to be very simple. Just open it up. Once it's cold, open it up, toss away, rinse with water, and then it's ready for next use. So I guess you guys enjoyed this video, and hope to see you guys next time.